Food for thought. I came across this amazing poem and let this sink in. Lawyers only want you to be a criminal. Banks only want you when you need a loan. Pharmacists hope you get sick. Landlords hope you can't afford your own new home. Dentists, they prefer you have tooth decay. Opticians, they actually prefer that your eyesight is bad. Casinos, they want you to lose all your money. Mechanics, they like it when your car breaks. Credit card companies, they need you to apply. The gym, they really only care if you're fat. Funeral directors, they want you to die. Well, if there's a common theme here, it's one thing. And what it is people don't want the best for you. They don't want to see you thrive. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want you to see you wish and live out your dreams and your passions. Because even your employer dangles a carrot and pays you just enough money, but just enough to keep you coming back for more, but not enough to allow you to live your dreams and hopes. That's just the way life is. It feels like every part of our society is one which derives its success from our failures. Think about it. Some people look at it like a business opportunity. Other people rub their fingers together hoping that you fail. Because if you fail in any one of those ways, they get paid. Your company doesn't want to see you at your best. Your corporate game doesn't want to see you doing the best things that you can possibly be. They don't want to see you living your dream. They don't want to see you have your favorite car, your big house, or even enjoying life and doing a lot of the things, because they would much rather have you marching along like a soldier in a straight line and not enjoying your life in the way we were meant to enjoy it. Most people generally don't have the best things in mind for us. Our companies don't care. As a matter of fact, they'd rather us not do what we want to do, which is enjoying life to its fullest. Well, it might seem a little extreme. I mean, sure, you can go at home on the evenings. You can enjoy a couple of hours each night and sit back and relax and maybe watch some TV, hang for, after you eat dinner, maybe hang for an hour with your kids and then get ready to wrap up, put them in bed, and you're back on, rinse, lather, repeat. You get the gist. Or the weekends. Wait a minute. Yeah, you have lots of time on the weekends, right? Well, maybe not. Because usually Saturday, you're sort of recuperating. It's been a long week. A lot of people tend to sleep in on Saturday. You get up, you do a few things, maybe go do some shopping, possibly maybe browse around, go a little drive. Next thing you know, it's time to go to bed. And Sunday, you're starting to think already about your next day at work, your next week at work. You're starting to think, oh, we need some groceries for lunch. We got to, I need an extra pair of shoes. Those other ones, they had a hole in the heel. It's time I ante up. So quite often, Sundays represent that day that you're sort of prepping for work. So really, you're living for work. And that's exactly how employers want it. If you come to work unprepared, then they see as you being unprepared and you're not a successful member of the team. I've heard people say often at your job, if you're at time, if you're on time, so in other words, you start at 8 o'clock and you walk in at 8 o'clock, there's many bosses out there and many employers that say if you're on time, technically you're late. Well, being late isn't necessarily ideal, and I truly believe in putting in 125%. But this whole idea of assuming that they're going to take more out of you, 15 minutes, a half an hour on the front end, but if you leave early, leaving early is leaving on time, so therefore, to not be leaving on early, you probably have to leave 15 minutes later, right? So in other words, you're working up to that time, and then you're leaving 15 minutes later. So ultimately, in their eyes, and in a passive-aggressive way, in many ways that they don't even imply it or express it, but there's this unwritten rule that they say, unless you're putting in half an hour on the front, 15 minutes on the back, giving them 45 to an hour extra every single day, that you're not living up to the expectations, that maybe you needs improvement, that maybe you're not good enough for this organization, and quite often they will find somebody that will do those things. They will bend over backwards. In the meantime, you do all that for a small paycheck and a pence and a hope and a dream that maybe after 30 years, 40 years, you can finally pay off that mortgage. It's clearly all a game. The society, the entire society that we live in today is built and derived on a system that hope we fail. Because if we fail, we'll show up tomorrow. If we show up tomorrow, we keep the system rolling and we keep putting money into the system, keep the whole big wheel turning. Yes, I love it. I love the society. I certainly love the ability to go out there and buy a flashy red car or a nice little bicycle or the latest TV. But that unfortunately comes with some caveats. We live in a society that's very much driven on those items and driven on the fact that if people are not consuming, well, the world just doesn't seem to go round and round. So there's a lot of people with vested interests to have you consume to keep this world going round and round. Again, as always, everybody, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. This was a real touching poem for me, and I personally connected with it, resonated with me, and I really did touch close to home that nobody really wants to see you do well. Everybody wants to see you fail so that you can continue their success, so that you kneel down and they're stepping on your back to get risen up one more level. This is just the world we're in. Now, yes, we have great people in our corners, and that's why I've said this before. You definitely want to take care and nurture and cultivate the relationships that matter. You know, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's that one friend or those two friends that are very, very good and close people to you. Cultivate that. Hold those relationships dear to you, because those are the people to not take lightly. Those are the people that matter the most. What doesn't matter the most are these fly-by-nighters, these people with, you know, the big smile on the face, but you know that you're pulling out the wallet to pay for something. They're very motivated, and the whole system and society feels very much set up to do just that. Consume. Anyway, I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. Again, as always, don't forget to subscribe. Love to see you on the next one. See you, everybody, real soon. Bye-bye.